Time for some Friday price predictions for Bitcoin. What is it? I think it is the 19th of July, right? 2024. Anyway, so given the date, if you look at the charts, you'll notice that Bitcoin right now is moving along nicely on various different time frames. According to the VEPS information for the daily volatility reads, we're looking at short, middle, and long lengths, giving us information saying the price action will probably tend, or is indicating that it is likely to go up, down, and up across the different lengths. So what that means is it's an opportunity for lower time frame scalps, because you've got mixed volatility reads as opposed to the information all reading in a single direction. You got, you have, generally speaking, you have low time frame opportunities in any case, but when they're all trending in one direction, or when they're all indicating strongly in one direction, then it is likely that you're going to have a much higher propensity of trades to one side than the other. On days like today, there should be plenty, at least for now, of trades going in both directions, and so far that has been the case. If you also look at variance, you'll see that it is falling with a negatively sloped correlation. Still positive, but it is negatively sloped, so effectively negative correlation. If you look at entropy on the daily, it is in a random walk. If you look at it in the 4 hour, or the 8 hour even, it's a random walk. 4 hour also, it's beginning to formulate possibly another trending move. But there are time frames obviously below it where there's plenty of trending moves, even on the 90 minutes and lower. There are trending moves happening, and on the 8 hour time frame, we're also looking at the mean reversion, which remains in progress, to the 30-12 RMLR, which has been in motion now for more than a few days, and could easily, like I said, as I've been saying since it's started, could easily take us until sometime later next week, if not later, to complete. And meanwhile, on the VRE charts, if you look at today's targets, from where the asset is currently, with a very tight range, meaning that it's a trending day, and a tight range on the central daily range of the VRE, indicates the probability of a trending day. It is a Friday, so keep that in mind. And so if you look at the downside targets, like, it would not be shocking, let's just say, if Bitcoin did in fact shoot down to the targets in the 58K area, which if it did, would just about complete that 8 hour mean reversion, the 8 hour time frame mean reversion. And I don't expect it to, but it certainly could do that. To the upside, there's a target in the 70K range if it were to shoot up that high. Again, those are quite wide targets, but it is not impossible to see Bitcoin move 10% in a day in either direction. It's obviously something that's happened. It doesn't mean I expect to see it necessarily today, but it could be. So just bear that in mind. Those are probabilities. They're within realistic probabilities. That target up to 70 or so is a target that happens to be the top of the daily range on the VRE, not the central daily range, the top of the fifth cell level, or what you might call the resistance level of that VRE. So it's definitely a bit there, and there's like a 99.9999 probability that it would not close the day above that. So if it did get anywhere near there, that would certainly be a very good take profit area, and obviously levels along the way are also a good level to take profit if it were to go to the upside. you know, the 99.7, 95.5, 68.3, etc., and plenty of other targets in between. And those are on, you know, that's the daily time frames. Of course, lower time frames, you've got many, many more targets and probabilities. That's the beauty of trading probabilities and statistics, is that you have a lot of different targets that you can easily use to manage your risk on lower time frames. I got a comment recently telling me that you don't understand Bitcoin if you trade it. Okay, well, let me just say to that, I mean, there were more words to it, but basically that was the comment. Right? That if you trade it, you don't understand it. To that I have to say, you know, trading and holding and believing in and investing in something, those are all very different things. Right? I can hold Bitcoin and quote unquote believe in it and think that it's a wonderful long-term thing to have, and I can trade it. Right? They're not exclusive activities. Right? They're not necessarily mutually exclusive activities. So, just to that I say, you know, it doesn't matter what you trade, because my point in that video actually wasn't even, like, yeah, I was talking about trading Bitcoin, but as always mentioning specifically, it's really about any asset, not just Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. Look out for the range targets on these trending moves. You know, the fact that it is a trending day, but look at the VRE, at the volatility range estimator targets, because you will definitely find that there are a lot of good targets on, you know, on a 15-minute time frame. You know, even if you're being slow about it, the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, these all have good targets within range of where the asset is currently. The last I looked at it, maybe 20 minutes ago, it's moving back and forth quite nicely, and should probably continue to do so throughout the day. We should have some nice movement and good opportunities to trade. So anyway, that's it for now. Happy trading.